أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. There's no God but you. Glory be unto you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Uh, Each Beza, whenever you're ready, please begin. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. So we are reading from the 14th Hope, and we shall start with that today, inshallah. The summary at the start of the fourth ray on the luminous verse, for us God suffices, describes how, having been isolated from everything by the worldly, I was afflicted with 5 sorts of exile. The summary at the start of the fourth ray on the luminous verse, for us God suffices, describes how, having been isolated from everything by the worldly, I was afflicted with 5 sorts of exile. The heedlessness arising from distress led me to look not to the consoling lights of the Risale-i Nur, which would have aided me, but directly to my heart and my spirit. The heedlessness arising from distress led me to look not to the consoling lights of the Risale-i Nur, which would have aided me, but directly to my heart and my spirit. I saw that governing in me were an overpowering desire for immortality, an intense love of existence, a great yearning for life, together with an infinite impotence and endless want. I saw that governing in me were an overpowering desire for immortality, an intense love of existence, a great yearning for life, together with an infinite impotence and endless want. But an awesome transience was extinguishing the immortality. Suffering this state of mind, I exclaimed like the poet, reality wanted the passing of my body, though my heart desired its immortality. I was afflicted with an incurable ill that not even Luqman could cure. Reality wanted the passing of my body, though my heart desired its immortality. I was afflicted with an incurable ill that not even Luqman could cure. I bowed my head in despair. Suddenly the verse, for us God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs, came to my assistance, summoning me to read it with attention. So I recited it 500 times every day. The more I recited it, 9 levels of meaning were unfolded to me out of its many lights, and at the level of certainty, at the degree of knowledge, and even of certainty at the degree of witnessing. I think we can probably continue with the first level of the luminous verse as well. But I think maybe it might be helpful to. I guess let's keep going one more paragraph and then we can take a pause there. The first level of the luminous verse, for us God suffices. By virtue of a shadow in my essential being, of a manifestation of a name of the one of glory and perfection, possessing absolute perfection, is of himself and for no other reason worthy of love. I had an innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolute perfect one. I'm going to read it again. By virtue of a shadow in my essential being, of a manifestation of a name of the one of glory and perfection, who, this one of glory and perfection, possessing absolute perfection, is of himself and for no other reason worthy of love, I had an innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolute perfect one. But due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way, become attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality. But due to the heedlessness that innate love had lost its way, became attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality. Then the verse, for us God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs, raised the veil. I saw and felt and experienced at the degree of absolute certainty that the pleasure and happiness of my immortality lay exactly, and in more perfect form, in the immortality of the enduring one of perfection, and in affirming my sustainer and God, and in believing in him and submitting to him. I saw and felt and experienced at the degree of absolute certainty that the pleasure and happiness of my immortality lay exactly and in more perfect form in the immortality of the enduring one of perfection, and in affirming my sustainer and God, and in believing in him and submitting to him. The evidence for this has been explained in the fourth ray, the treatise on the verse for us God suffices, in 12 sections which are extremely profound and subtle and will fill with wonder anyone with fine sensibilities. And that is the end of the first level of the luminous verse for us God suffices. I guess just to start us off, I can talk about certain things that have attracted my attention, hopefully giving others time to reflect and potentially share any questions or comments they have. So I guess throughout these hopes in general, at least insofar as I've been able to, I've recognized at least the author has been sharing certain dilemmas, existential dilemmas of, you can say it has to do with his age, but I think we can say that these dilemmas are as a result of this contradiction that I think every human being finds themselves in, which is this need for meaningful, everlasting existence at the face of transience. So in the beginning here, I guess this 14th hope will be delving deeper into the verse, for us God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs. The author is starting off by introducing this verse to us in a state where he says, the heedlessness arising from distress led me to look not only to the consoling lines of the Risale-i Nur, which would have aided me, but directly to my heart and spirit. I think like there seems to be the state of experiencing, isolation, I guess. But it says, having been isolated from everything by the worldly, I was afflicted with 5 sorts of exile. I guess in this state where the author is perhaps I guess physically separated from things that he loves, he experiences this sort of the transience of the world itself, I guess. And that's when he looks directly to his heart and spirit. He talks about this overpowering desire for immortality, an intense love of existence, a great yearning for life, together with an infinite impotence and endless want. I guess I can't help but connect that to kind of the current state of affairs of what's been going on, where I think, in perhaps taking these precautionary measures to avoid certain things in our life, whether this is a virus or something else, within that is this overpowering desire for immortality. No one wants to be ill. Um, no one wants to lose their health. And in this is an intense love of existence, a great yearning for life. But I guess the dilemma takes place when, inevitably, whether or not I am caught by the virus, for example, I will definitely be caught by death. So that I'm subject to disorder, where I'm also subject to this constant um, transience or passing away of things. Um, and I think if in that state by itself is a state of despair, um, and which is when this the author, for him, for us God suffices and he is the best disposer of affairs, kind of helps him. And inshallah, I guess the hope is to utilize this verse for ourselves to help alleviate the burden I might find within myself of having to maintain this, or having to face this contradiction of maintaining this sense of health, or um, like sustaining myself, for example, while still being like how, or the sense of wanting to be healthy and exist with this inevitable transience and passing away that I'm subject to. But enough rambling on my end. Oh, I think there are comments. Oh no, it's just a link. I'd like to take a pause here to see if anyone wants to share. Although that wasn't an overview of the entire thing, and very rough as I speak out loud. Anyone wants to share their comments? Awesome, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. To start off, I was also thinking, because there are some young ones among us also, and about the situation right now. And the word is called social distancing. And I'm sure many people are home and remote, except maybe one or two, maybe in the medical field, but I know, like, from schools, their schools are also not operating at this time. And I know I have two
I'm sorry, can you speak a
cousin
little
and a
closer
niece
to
who are
your...
here, and I know the basketball with the friends is not going on. So there's a lot of time that is available at home, at least in terms of, one now has the ability to sit down and experience what the activities that everybody can get involved with, this additional time and in the isolation or the social distancing with things. So I think this was a pretty appropriate kind of wording when he said, having been isolated from everything. So they're getting a taste of that. I can speak for myself as well.
Awesome, I'm sorry.
And it is a really good thing to see how, at least, I'm using my time and what my existence means. It's a good way to look at what my heart is, or my desiring, or my feelings, what kind of, if I'm listening to maybe the news and all the reports, how many people are being affected, impacted, dying, that will put me in certain situation. But oh, sorry, is there some
Yeah, right
voice?
now, your voice kind of sounds a little farther away, and it's kind of as if like you're moving the mic
How about
away.
now?
This is perfect.
How
If
about
you
now?
can
Is this
maintain
better?
this. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, so I was just going on in terms of the social distancing and the opportunity that each one of us has right now to think about what we are doing, how we are spending our time and energy and whatever our existence, if you know the word I use often, our our bodily beings, but our us, the whole complete human being that we are, including our senses and feelings. How are they? This is a good opportunity for us to really work with them and realize, like, what do I love? What am I desiring in terms of my existence, and questioning them. So his first paragraph, the author's first paragraph at least, was um, in his reflections, at least, he is really going to the matter, like the real matter of the human beings, where he is questioning his heart, which means his human side, and looking at what his heart is for, because he's gone through certain experiences in life, the world thing that he was. He's there is within him that once you're seeing
I'm sorry again, awesome. I'm not sure if it's just me you're breaking up for, or
different
if other people.
experiences in your life, you taste different foods, you taste different activities, you have friendships that you encountered and nurtured, you've seen different qualities, you've lived with loved beings, your parents, and so all those things are something that one can question and see, hey, really like this, I really enjoy this, I want to keep this for, I don't want to lose this. This is something that we need to work on and realize that once I've tasted it, it's something that I want to keep on, I want to hold on to. So this is what the desire for immortality and the intense love of existence that the author mentions, great yearning for life, but then at the same time realizing what my human reality is. I am here existing, but I don't have any power to give myself existence. I'm just here. Somebody has put me here, has given me existence, and all I'm here is I'm just consuming things. I'm using things, you know, like the impotence and endless wants. I want many things. I want to keep my existence, but this desire for immortality or for keeping my existence, can I do that? No, I am really weak in that part. I have no power at all to continue my existence or keep my existence, but my desire is there strongly. I have this love for experiencing all these qualities that I feel, that I'm experiencing. So there is a problem here because I am weak and all these desires are within me. So what do I do? So this is where I try to understand or look for the source that can really be the one that can give me this immortality. So who is the one who gives me all these opportunities to experience, to love all these experiences and the different qualities, so that only that source is the one I should be looking for. So and then this verse comes on, for us, God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs. This is a verse from the Quran, comes to this authors, as he says, and should come to us also to think about what it means to us. And I know that, in the first level of the luminous verse, which I think HB is the kind of hinted at, and maybe we can continue on that. But now he's seeing that, he goes into the dependence or the relationship between me as a created being, if I realize my createdness, and then I have this direct dependence on the one that gives me existence. So I am tied to the source of my existence. So, and the word we also we can use also is called contingent. My existence is contingent upon the one that gives me existence. So I cannot even talk about my existence unless there is the source of my existence. His existence is the one that must be there for me as a contingent being to exist. So maybe I think I've spoken a lot already. I hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. That was very helpful for me. And I think, um, you know, with, Mariam and Rayan, if they also want to share um, anything on their mind. But just to recap some of the main points that I took away from Austin's comment was how, I guess, to begin with, like, do I really have this desire for immortality within me? So I guess, what does that mean, insofar as how am I to understand what this author is describing here? And I think, like with the comments about, for example, with the social distancing, or wanting to protect myself from the virus, like why is it that I want to protect myself? I want to protect myself because I don't want to get sick. And I think within that desire for not wanting to get sick, or in other words, wanting to stay healthy, it looks, I don't say I want to stay healthy today and tomorrow, but I'm okay with getting sick the day after, right? I constantly want to stay with the state with the state of health. I don't want to experience a state of the loss of health. I don't want to get sick. And I want to be, as far as social distancing is concerned, I guess, most people want to be with other people, and they want to be with the people that they love, and they want to have, a good time together. So I think within both of these experiences, which, I think for the youngest members of our group here who may be staying home and working, taking their classes online, to, I think, everyone else, I'm sure it resonates to some extent. If this need for, within this need to stay healthy is a need for immortality, meaning a happy life where I'm in a state of health, where I'm with the people that I love without any sort of expiration date in sight. So I think, just to lay the groundwork here, as far as the foundations of this um, dilemma that the author is experiencing, like right now, I wish I could go outside and do what I want to do, for example, or I wish I could be with my friends, but I'm unable to do that. And within these needs, it looks to the sense of, um, I guess, on one hand, powerlessness, for me to be able to attain what I need to do. Like, I can't control anything really. I only have the ability to choose something over the other. I can't guarantee my health. I can't guarantee anything for myself. I can't guarantee that the people that I love, or even the rest of the world, will be healthy. Um, and within um, this, powerlessness is also a desire to want these things, a desire for health for everyone, for example. And so it puts me into this dilemma, I guess, this problem, where I'm face to face with a desire for happiness, for example, but at the same time, I'm unable to keep it, or I'm unable to sustain this state of health, for example, for myself, But I just want to take a moment to see if anyone, specifically Mariam and Ryan, or anyone else has any comments or concerns that they'd like to raise, or any questions, maybe something that they don't understand. Please go ahead, Mariam and Ryan.
I just want to say that everyone wants to live, and like no one wants to die. But like the fact is that we are all transient. Like we all want to be perfect, but it's just like we're all mortal. So yeah, that's what I just want to say.
Oh yeah, I think that's basically you hit the nail on the head there, being the main point there, that I am mortal, that I am dependent, and we're getting an endorsement from our friend Faria here to your comment. And I guess in a way that reminds me, if I find myself mortal, or in other words, if I find that I'm dependent on other things, right? I'm dependent for someone to give me air. I'm dependent for the mechanism for my lungs to breathe in this air. I'm dependent on essentially the existence of the entire universe for this mechanism to work properly. I need, the plants, I need the soil, I need the sun, I need the clouds, I need everything just so I can breathe. So there's this sense of dependency that I find within my existence, within the universe, and not just myself, just as I need my lungs and the rest of the universe to breathe, everything in the universe, for example, anything really, like an ant, also needs, in order to function and survive and live as an ant, it also needs, the soil, the atmosphere, the clouds, the sun, the ecosystem. It needs everything in place as well, to be able to sustain its life as an ant. So I guess what then attracts my attention here is, within this sense of dependency, I know that I have not brought myself into existence. I just find myself existing in this state of being. It looks to the source. There must be a source of existence that must have brought me into existence, as well as everything else that I observe in the universe must have been brought into existence by the same source. And the source must be one who knows, I guess, the intricacies or the details and the complications of how I function, like, for example, with the breathing and the lungs, right? How I breathe in air, what happens to the air as it goes into my body, how it filters it, and how my lungs or my heart utilizes these things, and the air itself, all the chemicals, and the relationship between the air molecules and everything, the plants. So it must be a source that knows all of these relationships with each other, so that it can bring us into existence within an order within the order that I experience, and this order being this perfectly fine, balanced order where everything seems to be perfectly arranged in a relationship with itself. I feel like I'm talking a little bit too much here, so I just wanted to take another pause and see if anyone has any comments they'd like to make and share. Thank you so much, Faria. Go ahead.
I actually have a question. By the way, I really enjoyed everything that was shared. It's very helpful. So I had a question about the paragraph on the first level of the luminous verse, "For us, God suffices." So while you were reading, the part that says where, first of all, like human being realizing that I'm in need to be immortal, in my existence, or I want to experience existence, not in a transient form, but like I want a continuity of my existence. From that realization, when the author sort of mentioned that, realizing that I have an, I have an absolutely, like I'm in need of an absolutely perfect one. So I'm jumping a little bit here. What I'm trying to get at is that, like, yes, I can realize that, hey, I have all these needs. It's very self-evident that I'm a transient being, and everything in its physical sense is transient. My moments are also experienced. Like, I can't even hold on to something. It's just like running water. You cannot catch it. All that is good. I mean, like, everyone can easily come to this observation within themselves that I'm in need of eternal existence. Like, I want everything that I experience in its eternal form. So yeah, that's I think it's very, doable. However, when like the author is mentioning here, all that is good, but like, like he's saying, like, this verse, for us God suffices, as in, without knowing that I am, or without recognizing or being cognizant of the fact that I am given existence, and so I must have a one that's giving existence. I must have an existence giver. So without making that connection, then me just reflecting on my needs doesn't lead me anywhere. That's just going to be despair. I'll be like, oh man, yeah, I want this, I want that. I don't want to be mortal. I desire immortality. But then I realized, okay, so I didn't choose to be given existence, and I'm being brought into existence. Even this morning, I'm given existence at this moment. We're all brought into existence. So from realizing this to realizing that I must have an existence giver, and that's the one that I need to seek. I mean, that leads me somewhere. But like, there was like this little fine point here, and I'm just going to like mention a little bit where the author is saying that I had an innate desire for immortality. Yes, we can all check that. Directed not to my own immortality, like, hey, like, as in, like, just desiring that I want to be, that I want everything in eternal sense, like directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence. So keyword existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolutely perfect one, where I am in recognition of where I am, like I'm breathing, that I am given, or like, how we say, what is it, the walk the talk, or talk the walk, something like that. So I'm in recognition that I am given existence by an absolute perfect one. So I'm not desiring immortality just for the sake of it, like, but I am also at the same time realizing that I'm not brought into existence here by myself, that I didn't choose to be made in this way, where I'm experiencing transience, but I have this desire for permanence. No. So I'm made in such a way, so I must have a maker that's making you realize all that. So just, I think, really focusing our shift onto existence, and I desire perfection. And I know Rayan sort of mentioned about the perfection part as well, that we are not perfect. Like, I'm looking for perfection. And so when I realized that I'm in need of perfection and immortality of that absolutely perfect one. Yeah, so I think, so this really stood out to me, and I wanted to unpack some more on, like, really, what do you all understand from this? Because the author also goes on saying that he, the whole analogy of the mirror and something that is being reflected on the mirror, or maybe I didn't understand it correct here. It's saying that, but due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way, become attached to the shadow and of the mirror of immortality. So I don't know, like this threw me off a little bit. Maybe I'm not understanding what he's saying, but what I'm getting at is that I'm in need of the one that is reflecting its qualities in the mirror or within the universe. So just wanted to throw this out there. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express out.
Thank you for taking a hold of the opportunity to express yourself. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think you bring up a very good question here, which I guess pushes us into the first level of the luminous verse, or that paragraph, where so I guess we're trying to, once having established, as you've summarized, this need that I have for eternity, while I experience this transience, while being aware of the fact that I am not the one who is bringing myself into existence or sustaining my own existence or the existence of anything else in the universe, then kind of tying this into, so how is this, at least insofar as the way I'll word it for myself, this verse, for us God suffices, being utilized, or how is this verse kind of helping me direct my innate sense, or as the text says, the innate desire for immortality, to its source, I guess. One thing, not to try to necessarily answer Faria's question, but to add on to it, I think one thing that that attracted my attention here in the sentence that Faria highlighted for us, in the sentence that goes, but due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way, become attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality. One part here that attracted my attention was the fact that it said, due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way. So there is this sense of innate love within me for immortality, but due to the state of, I guess, heedlessness, or a state of maybe not reflecting or being aware of my reality, it's inevitable that I will direct it in one way or another. I will attach my being onto something else because of how great this love is. So being attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality, I guess what I take away from that is, being using this sense within me to be healthy, to exist, for example, and attaching that to, for example, just to make it more practical, like, washing my hands or taking these precautionary actions to avoid the virus, for example, or for anything, if I want to do well in school, studying, or doing anything, following the order of the universe, for example, and being restricting myself or attaching myself to the order itself, as opposed to the one who is maintaining the order as the source of the qualities that I see. So again, with the example, following the order and expecting that in following X, Y, and Z, that I can maintain a state of health for myself. That being a way of being attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality. If I see the sense of health in, for example, might not be the best example, but please go ahead, Faria.
Thank you. So your comment actually helped expound more on what the author is trying to say. What I understand now is, so when I'm not conscious of things around me, then I can become attached to the shadow. So like things are manifesting qualities. So a mirror is reflecting certain qualities. But for something to be reflected, there must be an object in existence. So I'm just communicating with the qualities that are reflected. So like the author here is mentioning shadow. But yeah, because that's what I'm in communication with, but if I just get lost just within the shadow, then obviously that's going to be pain and torture, because I'm not going deeper into that. Hey, if I'm experiencing qualities, something is being reflected, then there must be an object in existence. So the shadow is really the manifestation of things. So for example, I had, let's say I had a banana. So it manifested some sort of mercy. And so, but then I questioned this experience of mercy. If I just remain within this mercy, then I'm just remaining within this universe. But I tasted this mercy, so I want to experience this mercy in eternal form or absolute form. And so to me, that's what the author now is pointing to, that the shadow, which is really the manifested qualities, this is what I experience here. But then for me to be experiencing these manifested quality, for example, mercy, then there must be an object in existence, or there must be a source of existence of this quality of mercy. And that's what I need to desire, right? So I had an innate desire for immortality. So that's what I need to direct my feelings and hopes towards, if that makes sense. But yeah, so for now, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment again. One thing that attracted my attention from what you've shared is also, I think it's a nuanced point, but for example, in my eating of the banana and experiencing a certain quality, like let's say mercy, I experienced this mercy, I guess, as a result of eating the banana because I enjoy it, it's good for me, it's, satisfies my hunger, etc. But at the same time, because this sense of mercy that I experience by eating the banana, for example, it becomes limited to that experience itself. Like it lasts only as long as, I guess, my body digests the banana. As far as it, benefits me on a physical level. But it also, highlights this dilemma again, from what I understand is, I don't want that mercy to end with my eating or digesting of the banana itself. I want it to be everlasting, because by definition, maybe mercy is not necessarily just an act of mercy that I experience momentarily, but true mercy, if you will, is mercy that I experience continuously, unending. And that's the human problem or despair that I'm picking up on here. Hopefully that makes some sense, but I'm just going to take a pause and see if anyone would like to share anything on their minds. New voices or recurring ones would be much appreciated. All right, so it looks like everyone is reflecting. So inshallah, we'll have some great comments as people continue reflecting. Mariam and Rayan, would you like to read your comment out loud, please? And perhaps explain a little bit more for us so that it's clear.
Okay, so what I was saying by consciousness and realization are important because you need to be conscious about what's going on and where it's happening. So like you can experience your time.
Oh, thank you. That's a great comment. So I guess being aware, consciousness and realization are important, you said. Aware of what's going on around me. So I guess my understanding of that is with the banana, for example, you know, in my experience, being aware, I guess, conscious of the fact that I'm sharing this relationship with the banana. And your comment just got a thumbs up from Faria, and also from another friend as well. So as I experienced this, what was I saying? As I experienced this mercy from eating, or as I eat this banana, rather, being aware of the relationship, being conscious of the relationship that I share with the banana, um, and being aware of these feelings that are being created within me, to want to be able to, you know, always have this merciful and lovely relationship with the banana and everything else, that all other sorts of fruits and people that I love, for my relationship with them and my time with them to always continue, and for no one to get sick or die and disappear. Um, so it highlights, I think part of the consciousness and realization that I understand here is being aware of this sort of, I'm going to call it despair, uh, that I find myself in, insofar as when, you know, I enjoy something and then it leaves me, or I leave it, and inevitably, I think I need to be aware of that state of being, so that then I can try to become aware of the fact that whatever quality of mercy, for example, that I experience from the banana doesn't know me. It doesn't know my needs. It doesn't know how my, you know, taste buds work. It doesn't know how to, you know, it doesn't make itself beneficial for me in and of itself, of its own accord. It doesn't have a sort of it doesn't have a will, it doesn't have consciousness, it cannot speak to me in and of itself, right? It doesn't know me. It just grows as a part of the order that's being established by the orderer. So if I take this banana and I attach my being to it, meaning that I say, oh, you know, you're such a great fruit, um, and I love this sense of taste and mercy that I'm getting from you. Um, what happened? I mean, for, I guess, for one thing, I already have the sense of love within myself that's so readily available for me to attach myself to something. But if I attach myself to the fruit itself, and say, you are the one that is sustaining me, you are the one that is giving me all these nutritious things, and, you know, making me healthy and giving me good taste, etc., it becomes a problem, because the banana, then, even if I don't eat it, it's going to go bad. There's no way for it to sustain itself or to sustain me. So it seems that, as if I look at it as the source of the quality, I say that it clearly cannot be the source of this quality, which it seems to be manifesting, the quality of mercy, the quality of taste, the quality of, you know, sustainment, if that's a word. Um, so if the moment I attach myself to it, it causes me despair. But I can conclude that it must be being brought into existence by one who is the source of good taste, for example, is the source of nourishment, is the one who likes to sustain. And through the source, I am being sustained. Um, and so I guess, in a way, I can utilize my interaction with the banana, um, and see the beautiful qualities I see in it and enjoy it, but while being aware of the fact that these qualities are not from, they cannot be from the banana. The banana does not have the consciousness or the will to, you know, make itself tasty, you know, my body, everything that we discussed. It doesn't have the ability or the knowledge or the consciousness or the insight or the power to do any of these things. So if it's pointing to its source, just as my existence, I did not choose to bring myself into existence. I find myself existing. I find myself with certain desires. Just as this banana points to its source with all its qualities, my existence also point to the very same source that must have brought me into existence with all these qualities, and must be the source that the only source that can also fulfill these needs as well. I just want to take another pause here to give people the opportunity to share their thoughts. Inshallah, the more people share, the more barakah there will be here. So Mariam and Ryan, I just want to reach out to you both again to see if that makes sense, or if it doesn't make sense, you can say it doesn't make sense, or anything else that might be on your mind, if you'd like to share anything. No force.
Thank you. It actually did make sense.
That's great. Could you explain to me what you understand? So maybe I can try to understand what you understand. There's no wrong answer, so that because we're all here learning together.
Yeah, so the example that you did with the example that you explained with the banana, like that really made sense, because like the banana is a need, and the banana doesn't know us because it's a need that is given to us by the creator, and we are going to consume the banana. So that's the realization. And yeah, and we taste it with our tongue, so like that's the realization.
Great, thank you. So can I have a counter question for you? Not a counter question, it's just a question. Can I get to know that the banana, or can I get to know that the source of existence of the banana, for example, is a merciful one, or one who can sustain me without tasting or interacting with the banana?
Yes.
Okay, how would I be able to know that the source of existence of the banana must be a merciful one without eating or tasting or interacting with the banana?
You can look at like the outside of it, like if it's ripe, it's good to eat, but like if it's like ruined, like it's like has black spots all over, like it's very like black, then like the taste won't be as good as the one that's ripe. So you can tell by the features how it's gonna taste and how it looks, because if it's ripe, like Rand said, then you can tell it tastes good.
Great point. So from what I understand from what you're saying is that I still have to interact with the banana, right? I mean, even just looking at it and looking at the outside, whether it's black or yellow or whatever, I have to be able to see the banana and notice my relationship with the banana. And I should probably also eat the banana at one point to be able to know that the source of the banana is one who likes to sustain. The source of the sustain, or the sustainer, must be the sustainer. Otherwise, if, for example, with your mom, for example, if she never ever cooked in the house, would you ever be able to say that she's a really good cook, or your dad, whoever cooks? Feel free to just unmute your mic.
Wait, could you please repeat the question?
I'm saying, would you, no problem, would you be able to know, for example, that whoever cooks in the house is a good cook without them ever cooking? Like if your mom cooks or if your dad cooks, and if they never cooked, would you be able to know that they can make food, or that they're a good cook?
No, because just because like because you didn't know how how they cook, so like you can't just tell just by their looks.
You can or you cannot tell? I'm sorry.
You can't.
You can't, right? You have to see that they've prepared the meal for you. And when you eat the meal, you'll say, okay, yum, this person can cook and they can cook well. Otherwise, if I don't ever interact with the food, I cannot know the cook behind it. Similarly, if I never interact with the banana, all of these, I mean, all of these qualities that I see in the banana, I can not, I can only know get to know the source of existence of the quality. So the source of existence of the quality of mercy, for example, or the quality of being taken care of, sustainment, compassion, when I interact with the banana. Otherwise, I cannot know that. There's no way for me to know. Just as if my parents don't cook me food, how will I know that they're a good cook or that they can cook? Awesome here says all these things must be made by someone. Yes, so when I look at everything in existence, that the banana or anything else really, by virtue of it existing, because it exists, it looks to the source of existence. Ali Murmur, I see your mic is unmuted. I'm hoping this is a sign that you like to share something. And if this is a sign indeed, we cannot currently hear you. Maybe if you are speaking, it might be helpful to leave and re-enter the room. If you can hear us, that is. Alrighty. So if anyone has any...
Excuse me, do you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly.
I'm
Please
just
go ahead.
checking. I am just checking. So I wanted to jump into, I had many interruptions. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to follow exactly what said. Can we go to second level of the luminous verse for us as suffices?
Today we read the first level of the luminous verse.
Okay, now we are not going in. Okay, then my question is for all of us, which keeps my mind busy nowadays a lot. It says, let me read the line from the bottom, fourth line. What is the beginning of this line? So from the beginning, I saw and felt and experienced at a degree of absolute certainty that the pleasure and happiness of my immortality lay exactly and in more perfect form in the immortality of the eternal one of perfection and in affirming my sustainer and God. Now, I think you have covered all this, but there is a God. Okay, what shall I do? I know there is a God. The problem starts for me, and in believing, look, knowing that there is a God is different from, because it says, and believing in him, and another step now coming in, submitting to him. No, there's something going on here. Sorry that I lost most of my concentrations on the subject because of this instability in my internet connection. So believing in him, So first is this statement says, oh, I saw and felt and experienced at the degree of absolute certainty. But in the introduction section, just before the first level of the luminous verse, it said, at the level of certainty, at the degree of knowledge, and even of certainty at the degree of witnessing. There are various layers of degree of certainty. So one of them is the certainty at the level of knowledge. The other one is at the degree of witnessing. Now here, there are, one is, when I understand that knowledge, oh, there must be a creator. So there must be a source of existence. And since he is continuously manifesting his qualities in this transient world, temporary world, temporary existence, because everything is continuously being subject to change. Okay, I understood. And the source keeps reflecting his qualities of creating, designing, decorating, willing to exist, etc. There are lots of qualities that I can detect from the universe. Yeah, so there must be, the source of existence must be an eternal one. Okay, I understood. That is at the degree of knowledge. Yes, there must be something. But the author says there are other degrees as well. Okay, witnessing, degree of witnessing, it means I understood that the universe needs to be created. There must be a creator. I understood that. And by studying the universe, which kind of qualities it has, I deduced that I come up with the conclusion that these things around me and the rest of the universe seems to have lots of qualities manifested in them. Okay, lots of qualities manifested in them. Understood. Now, these manifested qualities in the universe demonstrates that the source of these qualities must be eternal as well. So what I am saying now, what I am, which state I am in, which stage I am in, yeah, the universe needs a creator, definitely, which it needs. The universe needs something which gave it existence. And in the second stage, yes, the thing which gave existence to the universe must be the source of existence of the qualities manifested in the universe. Many qualities. As much as I study the universe, I realize the manifested qualities and conclude that the source of these qualities must be the absolute one, infinite one, permanent one. And it cannot be like the universe because it is his production. I cannot imagine him because I cannot see, I cannot experience his real existence. And here, essence, they call it real essence in this universe, because this universe, his product, and I am within it, limited within the limitations of this universe. So I must conclude that all the source, all the qualities that I observe in the universe must have a source. Yes, you have covered all this as far as I could see. I could hear you. And those qualities must have a source which is not like the manifested transient qualities in the world. That is at the level of witnessing. I am witnessing now the qualities of the Creator. And I understand the text is suggesting something else. Yeah, these are all perfect. You need to do that. Otherwise, you cannot go ahead at all. Now, believing in Him. Now, this is knowledge. This is witnessing. I witness the qualities here, but believe in Him, in this Creator. Oh, what is that? I don't know. No, I know, I witness whatever I see in this world must have a source. All the qualities must have a source. Yeah, I understood, but believe. Now, belief must be something else to me. Now, as the author says, when I am in trouble, I cannot solve the problem by myself, and I go and search. What can be the source of existence of this world? What can it be? And I understand there must be something, and I say, okay, I know that, but what shall I do? There's a creator, okay. And what shall I do now? Now, when we go to another source, apart from the universe, we say that I don't know what to do with this creator. Yeah, there is, that's it. I'm not denying. I accept. Yeah, my mind says yes, but believe in it. When I see that there are some people among the humankind say that the Creator has sent message to you through me. He has chosen me. I don't know why. And he asked me to convey this message to the others. So I am an innocent man. I don't know, but continuously this message comes to me through something. Angels, they are called. Okay, whatever they are, I don't know. And they claim that this message is from the Creator. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Let me see. Everybody can claim anything. Okay, I go there and it says, look, we are expecting your Creator, my Creator is telling me, I am expecting you to believe me. And believe happens in the reasoning heart. What? Come on. It is something strange. In the reasoning heart. Come on, as far as I am experiencing, I don't reason with my heart, I reason with my mind. What is this reasoning heart? And then I look into the text again and investigate through my experience in the interaction with my creation. I say, now, so not with my creation, with the creation out there, I say, heart represents feelings. Yeah. But with the emotional side of mankind, humankind. Yeah, I have emotions, correct? Feelings, correct? How about interacting with the creator through the manifestations that you reflections of the qualities you witnessed in the universe. And through these manifestations, connect your feelings to the Creator, the source of these qualities manifested in the universe. Your feelings needs to be connected. I say, yeah, you know, I know my mother. She gave me everybody tells me, and I see also in the case of other mothers, she gave birth to me, but I know that she's not the creator of me. She is just a vehicle. Now, she didn't know who I was when I even was in her belly or in her womb. Oh, no, yeah, I know, she's my father, she's my mother, she's my father, he is my father as well. Their father, yeah, all right, I know them, but I have some other connections with them. Knowing that this woman is my mother and this man is my father is not very cold relationship, that very inhuman relationship. I'm not denying that they are my mother and father, parents, but it's a very cold relationship. But I want to, for example, appreciate what they are doing for me. And I want to communicate with them, speak to them, express my feelings to them. Oh, that is something else. Something different from knowing them that they are my mother and father. I want to have some other further relationship with them. These further relationships bring into my world, my being, that why I know that the universe has a creator, and he is my creator as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure of his qualities as well, manifested in the universe, maybe in my being as well. What shall I do? My relationship with my father and mother, because they are favoring me, they are serving me, they are helping me, they have a compassionate relationship with me, they listen to me, and they try to fulfill all my needs if they are useful for me, beneficial for me. So I want to hug them, I want to love them, I want to speak to them, I want to be always with them. If they are away for a while, I miss them. Can I have or should I have the same connection with the creator of the universe, with my creator? Should I have the same connection? And when I start utilizing my emotional feeling signs, of course, my mind is there too. I am not rejecting the mind activity, because without the mind activity, I cannot even know that there is a creator. So after using my mind, in addition, together with this mind, I have to utilize my feelings as well. Am I happy with the creator that he gave me existence? Now it is going into another state. Yeah, I am happy. I don't want to lose my existence. Do I love my life? Yes. Do I want to enjoy myself? Definitely. Do I have to get something which pleases me in the creation? Yes. What they are all prepared by this creator. Yes, correct. So do you want to speak to him? Express your feelings? And do you want to have a loving relationship with him? And expressing your need to him and asking him to help you as he helps in many ways, but in a specific desires, when you are in trouble, do you want to seek refuge with him? Please, please, my creator, you gave me the sense of healthy life, and now my life is threatened by your creatures, which are called viruses. Everybody talks about it, experts see it, etc. Yeah, I don't want to be affected with their with them. How do you say inflate? No, I don't know the word. Come on, infected by them, because when they get into my body, I die. I don't want to die. Come on, please help me. Of course, there are various ways of communicating with the creator. For example, knowing that the universe is created according to his will, that is knowledge, and not belief, that is knowledge. So everything is created by him, and I am here for a purpose, knowledge. Must be, because I have many things that teach me all many things, teach me that I have to perfect myself. I have to learn. I have to improve my humanity, etc., human side. I have to get more and more knowledge and be aware of what is going on in the universe. That's all within me. They are all fine. Now, that these things are created by you, and I'm sure you want to teach me something. So, of course, you gave me, I'm communicating, speaking to my creator now. You gave me the feelings to keep away from them, because you gave me the sense of loving life, loving health. Okay, I want to keep them away from them, but I cannot guarantee. So please, keep me away from them. It is a personal relationship now. In order to have the personal relationship with him, I have to have an emotional connection with him and make sure in my feelings, which are all the feelings are named in the Quran, what? Heart. So let's make it short and simple. With my heart, I have to be in touch with you. Now I start feeling that he is, if you like, don't misunderstand, not physical, in me now, because I love him. He is in my love. Because I am happy with him. Now this feeling is in me now. When you love somebody, if even that person is not with you, do you still feel the love within yourself? Somebody who experienced it, do you still feel the love within yourself? The feeling you experience, feeling of love you experience, although he is not physically with you? Anyone? No one is in love with
Yes, there's a comment, yes, and yes for me as well.
you. Okay. So you still feel love, huh? On that person, sorry, if that person is away for a while, do you feel like talking to him, calling, writing a mail, or sending a message? Do you feel like it?
Yes.
Why? He's not here. Why do you want to talk to him? He's not here. He or she. Well, your friend, she. Okay. Why do you want to talk to him? He's not present here. Why do you feel the need to talk to him? He's not here. I mean, you know that he exists somewhere else, not in the same place as you are now. So you speak to him. You talk to him. And furthermore, if this person is away, do you speak to yourself? Oh, this friend was wonderful. Huh? Now, if only he was here. He or she, well, doesn't matter. I'm not making a gender differentiating statement. If only she was here. So do you say some people sit and write poems about their beloved ones? But the beloved ones are not next to them. Now they start feeling they start experiencing the presence of the beloved one, although the beloved one is not present with him. Physical relationship is cut off. But I write poems on my feelings, about my feelings. Although no one may read it, but I need to express myself. I need to, if you like, pull out all my feelings of love, concern, etc. about him. It is with me. I feel that this stage is called believe in God. Believe in him. Do you see the difference between knowing his existence and believing in him? Feeling his presence within yourself. So his speech says, very interesting, very interesting. As I created you in the form of body, now the speaker is the speech of the creator, which is conveyed to me through a messenger, a person who says, I received this message and this is nothing to do with me. So I'm just letting you know what your creator, my creator, told me to convey to you. Okay, I said what he says in his speech. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Come on, what I was saying, the creator was speaking how? Somebody help?
You were saying the speech of the creator is conveyed through me through a messenger.
Yes.
And we had last left off in this stage being that what you've been explaining, belief, where I'm feeling these needs to communicate with my creator.
No, I was imitating what he said. And then I said, it is happening in my heart also. Who remembers what?
If anyone remembers, please go ahead.
I said, he said, oh, somebody? No. In his speech, he said, I said,
we have a message here, a comment here from Adam that says, this is conveyed through a messenger. He says, this is from my creator. It is not my property. In his speech, he says.
No. One verse came to my mind, and then, I don't know, slipped away. we were talking about belief stage now. Yeah, in the speech, he says, believe in your heart. Yeah, heart can be satisfied only in believing in him. Okay, I was writing a poem, communicating with him. Come on, that sure.
I'm sorry, Faria has her hand up and maybe she might be able to help.
Yeah, yes, Faria.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think we were comparing about when a lover is separated from his or her beloved physically. So there's a need to express out the sense of love or wanting to be with the beloved. And this emotional expression is a human need, and it's also like a communication with the source of existence of the sense of love that I find myself with. And so this expressing out or a direct personal communication
Okay.
with the source of my existence is what can be referred to as belief, because not only do I know that I must have a creator, a loving one, a maker, like in the knowledge form of how we spoke about earlier, but at the same time, I've witnessed, as in I'm an acknowledgement that I'm in need of attaching my human sides and feelings and desires to this eternal one that I have knowledge of. So that's the witnessing part, but now it's my heart, which is really expressing itself out, and that's belief. That's where we left off. So I don't know if that helps. Thanks.
It's a good summary of what a very summary brief and just to the point summary of what I have been talking about. But I said in this speech he says, and I started translating the verse in the Quran, but forgot now which verse was it. He says, I said, something, I am your creator. Oh, okay, didn't come. Anyways, that's it. This is believing in him. Of course, the second stage is very important, but not the second stage. First, knowing him by knowledge, or through knowledge, and even getting better knowledge of him through witnessing qualities of him. Yeah, for example, knowing that this lady is my mother, but this mother is such and such and such and such as qualities. She takes care of me. She is very kind. She prepares the food for me, cleans my clothes and everything, you see, cares me, etc. All these stages, witnessing stage. And then emotional connection, the feeling that it is in, so that he will be present in my feelings, in my heart, which is called simply. He is present always. Although he is not physically with me because he is my creator, cannot be physically with me. He is the creator, I am the created one. If he is with me, he would be a created one again within the universe. It is impossible. So I don't expect him to be present with me physically, but I want this awareness of his presence. I feel in my feelings that I am always in connection with him. Now, I think if it is fine so far, the second stage is not the second stage, the following stage. It is the certain knowledge, witnessing, belief, and submitting. Oh, man, it is really difficult. Submitting. Now, can I ask Mariam on Ryan? Very simple question, extremely simple, but honest answer I want. Mariam and Ryan, ready? Unmute yourself, all right? Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Do you always do, always, with no exception, what your mother asks you? With
Wait,
no exception.
what was the question again?
Do you always do what your mother asks you to do?
Most of the times.
Sorry?
Most of the times.
Yeah, more than once. You don't do or you don't. You do. Sometimes you may say, oh, mom, I'm not going to do that. You see what I mean? Oh, I don't want it. Mom says, come on, go this and do this. You say, mom, shall I do it tomorrow? Do you do this kind of things? I used to do when I was a child, a lot. Sometimes do you think you don't want to really follow what you say?
Like once in a while, like that's true for everyone, I think.
Yeah. Don't worry. It is everybody's reality. Don't worry. Don't worry about saying that sometimes I don't. I don't want to do anything she wants me to do. But I don't want to do some things she wants me to do. Although that sometimes, yes, I say, but at the end I do it, but really unwillingly do it. What does it mean? Belief is different from submission. Nowadays, this subject is really taking over my mind and my concern a lot. What is the difference between belief and submitting? Because in the speech of the Creator, I see that not every belief reaches the level of submission. Not every belief reaches the level of submission. I say, what does it mean? As the author says, whenever I am in trouble, I go and look at the speech, see if there's a cure for me. And he said, yes, there is. For example, he said, in these circumstances, I found the verse, for us, God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs. So now in this submission, the Quran says you have to submit, which is called what? Eslemna, eslim. Submit yourself to your Creator. What does it mean? Although I know time is up, a lot. So 8 minutes after the deadline. So it says Eslim, which means submit. Submit your Creator. What does it mean? Well, we can discuss this next week, but briefly, just open up the subject to you to reflect on it and share your conclusions next week, inshallah, submission. But very briefly, just an introduction, your feelings say, I have to love my mother, but not always. I do what my mother wishes me to do. Not always I use my feelings by remembering that by remembering that these feelings are nothing but his act of creation. He is creating it. I am only choosing to use these feelings by knowing definitely that this is what my creator is presenting to me, or attributing them to myself. I like this one. I want to do this one. But your creator says, come on, you are created here for this purpose. In order to fulfill this purpose, I am going to give a guideline. This guideline will show you how you should conduct your life. Yes, you are living in the universe doing something, but you need a training as far as your behaviors, your realizations, your awakeness. Awakeness means awakening to your reality that you belong to a creator, you don't own yourself. Awareness, and also you have to have a conscious relationship with me through your feelings as well. Not only acknowledging me, but acknowledging my existence, but you have to have a conscious and constant relationship with me. All your feelings must be submitted to me. You should love what I want you to love. You should, for example, use my creation in the way that I want you to use them. This is the best way of keeping in contact with me. Just I am going to give you instructions, follow them. And here it is, your instructor, the one who brought you this message. I employed him and educated him as your instructor. Follow his way of life, his exemplary life, your exemplary life. That is, if you follow him, if you follow his exemplary life, if you accept him as your guide, as your master, or the one who trains you, what is that? Monitor? No.
Mentor?
Mentor. If you accept him as your mentor and try to understand what he did and how can you follow his way within your own life conditions. By doing something, you should be conscious that when you follow, of course, by doing something while you are following his way of life, know that you are following my wish, my will, my way of life. This is the only way to submit yourself to me. Oh, you see, we end up with a completely different matter that we are not much aware of it. We just do prayers and some avoid eating non-zabiha. Everybody talks about it. But these actions must be consciously done, performed, through going all these stages and ending up doing all this. So that is a conscious submission. I am amazed by this conclusion, and recently it becomes into my life extremely important. You know that I have two options always. So while I'm using my free will, one side says, submit yourself. The other side says, no, you know the creator. Come on, you are not denying. He is wonderful. He performed a wonderful job here. They are all from him. Okay. That's it. You love now. You live now according to, I live now according to my will. I'm not submitting my will to his will. That needs a great training. Inshallah, we can talk about it if you like, or if you say, oh, this is, we covered roughly. Let's think about it, digest it, and put into practice. There is no need to talk about it next week. All right, it's okay. But that is a very important subject. We always shortcut by saying we have to follow the requirements of our religion. That's it. But we don't fulfill the all stages of process. So it doesn't really settle down. It becomes a kind of imitation. That's not bad, but of course, doing something consciously is the best. Consciously is the best. Let us talk, let us concentrate on it. Yeah. Thank you, role model. Yes, we need a role model. We need mentor. Yes. Thank you very much. Today, I am that much. Okay, let me end from my side. Thank you for being patient with me. I am really 16 minutes over time. I know, but it was very important to complete this last part. Okay, wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you for your comment, and I know I speak on behalf of others as well when I say I think it was necessary, and if anything, I take the responsibility for going over time as a moderator. Inshallah, I think we can end here, and maybe after we end the recording, we can talk about whether or not we want to continue next week on this topic or move on to the second luminous hope. Inshallah, we can make the dua and end the discussion here. Thank you, everyone.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowledgeable, all wise. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.